is...
Are we started the recording again?
Yeah. We can start whenever you want.
Okay, no cold open this time.
No.
No. Well, what cold open have we got to talk about? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm raising a freaking baddie. Oh
Alright, okay,
God.
lean back there, bud. Alright.
You know who is a baddie?
Who?
Annie.
Annie!
Annie's a baddie.
Alright, I'll just start from...
Do your best Chewie impression.
So
Oh, you guys are pretty good at it. The new trilogy. Yeah. The new trilogy, good or bad?
We're starting.
Yeah, we
Let's get it. I hate it. Alright, there we go. There's my finish.
so okay. Thanks for joining.
Let's start with that.
Okay.
So welcome back to the Quarantine Critics. We were in our last installment of the Star Wars podcast trilogy, and we're on to the sequels, the new trilogy.
Patty notoriously hates them.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I start formulating my arguments in my brain.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to structure your essay.
We don't hide. All of us don't hold them in high regard anyway.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I start because you guys already know that I have a history of defending them, even though I am the movie critic guy.
Yeah.
But I've always when Force Awakens came out, I always defended it when people said it was bad, and I even defended Last Jedi. I said it was pretty good, but I can't defend Rise of Skywalker. Like, as much as I want to like it, I can't. And like, I remember we all watched it together, I'm pretty sure. And Patty, when I came out of the theater, I remember saying to you, I was like, dude, this makes Last Jedi so much worse, man. Just because I was like, if Last Jedi actually or if Rise of Skywalker followed through with the setups of Last Jedi, I reckon it could have been good. You know, I reckon it could have been a solid trilogy if they didn't just retread everything. And if J.J. Abrams didn't go, we're just gonna, forget about Last Jedi and just do some other thing.
Well, that was the main problem. First of all, just how could you just swap between directors?
Yeah,
that just doesn't even make sense. How you could be like, all right, you've got your own vision. We're gonna put you in the middle movie, and then you have a different vision. You can do the first and third movie. It's like
because originally it was going to be JJ for the first one, and then Ryan Johnson, then Colin Trevorrow.
They were gonna have a different director for each movie.
Yeah, they were going to do a different one for each, which I think it could
if they maybe all work
it made
together.
sense if they kept a script.
Yeah, if they
exchange some emails.
yeah, and like instead of I honestly believe that if someone told me that J.J. Abrams and Ryan Johnson have never had a conversation face to face in their life, I would probably believe them.
Like, your main character's Ray. I've got this guy called Jeff.
Who are you making your movie about? What? No,
I'm bringing back Jar Jar. What the hell are you guys?
No, but I just think it's such a broken trilogy. It's it's a Frankenstein's monster of a film trilogy. And I think if they started with an idea instead of starting with let's make a Star Wars movie, then it could have been great. Yeah, because it's very clear that they had no plan, and even after the trilogies ended, JJ has not hesitated to say, oh yeah, we had no idea what we were doing.
It's kind of sucked.
It's even really clear throughout the movies as well, because throughout all of it, I had no idea what kind of direction they were going to take Rey.
John Boyega, he's been shitting on it Loki as well. He's been kind of does suck, doesn't it, guys?
Honestly though, he gets such a bad rap.
I just assumed I was like,
in the first,
he loves Star Wars.
I know, but he's on the fan side. He's like, it's kind of suck. No, but in Force Awakens, he was the best character by far, in my opinion.
He was awesome
because he was new. You hadn't seen that
cool
side
dynamic as well. From pretty much First Order Trooper,
all the other characters he just had good chemistry with Rey and Poe. It just worked.
And Rose.
I don't like Rose.
He's also in the only scene in the entire trilogy where you see some blood.
Yeah,
I swear, because that's how you distinguish him from other stormtroopers. The fact that he's got a red blood mark on his face.
He just gets wasted into a guy who just shouts Ray all the time.
Yeah.
It's like his acting potential and just character potential is just wasted with him going, Ray, no, as she disappears, and then it's like over and over and over again. You're just like, come on, man.
He's like a puppy or an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. So clingy. He's like, Ray,
please come back. No, but yeah, he had the best arc in Force Awakens, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He had the best fight scene in that movie too.
Yeah, and then in all the other movies, they just didn't know what to do with him. They were like, I guess he's just gonna retread the same arc in every
Let's
single
just
one.
knock him out for a while.
Yeah.
He's a perfect character.
Literally, after Force Awakens, they were like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Well,
finished.
It's because they got the new director, and it was like, we have all this stuff, and it's like, I have no idea where JJ was gonna go with him. Let's just make him redo the same thing.
Well, the thing is though, is like probably my biggest issue. JJ Abrams kind of like dropped the ball and Rise of Skywalker pretty hard, but like, what I really dislike kind of Rian Johnson's approach with The Last Jedi was he was given all of JJ Abrams' original scripts for Episode 8. And he threw him out. Like, actually, I don't like any of this shit. And he just rewrote the entire movie. Yeah. And I was like, you could have taken some of it.
Like, you got to realize there's got to be some continuity issues
he actually wrote that as a sequel. Like, it directly relates to it. So there's some key points that you probably could have gone with. And it kind of...
Also, I'm sure not all of it was shit. There's got to be at least some good stuff.
I'm sure that he... Rian Johnson had a pretty clear idea of where it was gonna go, but obviously because he didn't get like the last movie to finish it, it kind of just seemed like he looked at J.J. Abrams' script and was like, I'm gonna do the opposite of everything he just did here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Rey's parents, fucking nobodies, get him out of here. Snoke dead, fuck him. And like they just like they kind of were just like, look at all these cool things we set up, unimportant, fucking don't matter, guys. And then J.J. Abrams was kind of like, actually, they do matter. And then he rewrote it.
It's a tug of war between them. Like, Force Awakens is very clearly like JJ setting up all this stuff, and then Last Jedi is Rian Johnson just going, screw that, bro. Like, none of that matters. And then Rise of Skywalker is complete 180 where JJ's like, actually, let's just take it back another notch.
That's right. I hate the new sequel, but actually, like, the first movie... the only reason I really disliked that one was because it copied the same
it's just a copy
story.
Of The New Hope.
But like, I actually was going, okay, if they do something new for the next two movies with this same sort of level, I'll be like, I don't think I mind it. But that's when I came out, I was like, I enjoyed it, but I was just like, I knew where it was going.
Yeah.
But like, without even seeing it, because I'm just like, it's obvious that they're just copying.
It's just a New Hope remake.
But I was going, but it still had cool dynamics. Like, the characters were cool. They weren't like insanely overpowered or whatever. There wasn't that much cheesy comedy and crap in it.
Yeah.
Like,
it was nice quips and stuff.
As you would say, it was a lot more gritty than some
and
of
then
the
the actual, like, they had cool character development. Finn, whatever. Like, Poe was made out as like badass. You're like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, to be honest, on the start as well, when he's trying to escape with Finn, it's like, it's actually pretty cool. Opening scene, cool.
Yeah.
But I'm just
they introduced the only stormtrooper that can actually aim as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then it just like deteriorates.
Yeah. Then they kind of just were like, it's just this sort of
the
back
next
and
movie
forth.
is literally should be a 10-minute filler.
Yeah.
But it's expanded for like 2 hours. I'm going. It's literally a ship chase in space for 2 hours.
Yeah. Like, Last Jedi is probably my least favorite Star Wars movie. The actual as a movie itself, like visually and action wise, very cool.
You got to give it credit. The action and stuff is cool, but like, it's not a good Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
it's a cool movie for like if it was like going for that Marvel approach, but that's not what Star Wars is.
Yeah, and it has like a very like dialogue wise, it's not even that bad except for a few cringe ass lines like, we're not gonna kill who we hate or whatever. We're gonna protect who we love or whatever Rey says. Like, that was just like, shut the fuck up, bitch. But like
when I saw it, I honestly thought Finn was gonna kill him.
I thought he was gonna die. And I was gonna be like, that's actually a really dope way to end his character arc.
There's so many cool opportunities like there, actual kill of Finn, that everyone would be like, wow, that would be that's ballsy. Rey, join Kylo, do something cool. Wow, that's ballsy. They literally like bitched out every single time. That would have been going. That would have actually made that film memorable because they would have done something like big, and everyone would have gone, wow.
I'm sorry, in a perfect world, in my opinion, they would kill off Rey, and then Finn takes her lightsaber and he creates the blaster bolt saber.
Oh right.
Oh, and then he goes up against Kylo because I love that thing so much.
There's a lot of stuff about like Finn being actually force sensitive.
Well, he is force sensitive, yeah.
Slightly.
It's like if he was he actual? Could he have been another Jedi or something? Yeah.
Not as powerful as Rey was.
It's like how Leia was force sensitive in the originals. How she could.
Don't get me started. The second
one, though. Yeah, bro. It's just like, I'm just gonna get blown up into space, and like, hold on.
No, that was that was stupid. I hated that.
Admiral Akbar.
Yeah,
iconic character. It's a trap. Almost just like, oh, he's dead. Oh, okay, cool. Like out of all the characters they just kill off randomly, you don't do it to Admiral Akbar, okay?
Yeah.
And
Alright, calm down, man. Calm down.
You didn't give him enough screen time as well. If you're gonna kill off Admiral Akbar, give him some screen time as well. To like
give him like a whole give him a speech. Give him a speech.
Give him 5 minutes, okay? Like that's been Finn. I would have felt fine killing him off because I've had a movie and a half. Not even a movie and a half. A movie in like 4/5 to get around him.
Yeah.
Like you're cool. Admiral Akbar. I've been like, this guy's an elite admiral, and he's just like, I haven't seen him the whole first movie, and he's just dead. I'm like, what?
Do you think even in the
Admiral Akbar isn't even a character? He's not a character. He's just there in the last.
That's what I was about to say. Even in the Star Wars universe, do you think they still refer to him as, oh, he's the guy that said it's a trap in that battle that one time?
He's loved by the people.
Yeah.
But he's like, that's like saying, oh, they killed off Nine Numb off screen. Like, no one cares. No one cares. No one cares about Nine Numb. All he did was sit next to Lando and go. Like, all Admiral Akbar did was he was just, it's a trap, and that's it. No one cares.
I care.
He was a giant goldfish, man. Come on.
Maybe as well though. Like with all the movies, I reckon it's just like the plot was so ruined. Like there's so many times you could just tell like they didn't have an answer for something, so they made something stupid like to fill the plot perfectly. Yeah. Main example.
Force heal.
Well, that's a good one. No, it's like when they're on that planet and Poe meets his like ex bounty hunter people. And it's like, oh, I just happen to have this perfect ship thing that like allows you onto this battle cruiser. Like that would be handy. Here you go. And you're like, what do you mean? How does this chick just have that? Which like perfectly aligns with their mission. I'm like, you didn't set that up. Like that's just you going, how do they go into that ship? All right, we're gonna make a chip that they're gonna find.
It's back to the hero's journey type thing, but they do it so obviously, and they don't really weave it into the story.
It's not natural. Like
and then like the knife. It's like, oh, we're on this random hill on this randomized planet, standing in the perfect spot for it to perfectly align with this Death Star wreckage. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
And then they fall in the sand pit and they find the knife in the first place.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this must be important. Oh, next minute we're standing in the perfect spot. I'm like, Jesus, like, is this Star Wars or this like luck, man?
Yeah. Like, I just like it was.
Felt a bit like National Treasure. Yeah. In space.
Everything that just, oh wow, this is exactly what we need.
Like,
oh, this is it too.
like Force Awakens. Yeah, I understand why people hated it because it was literally just a New Hope. Yeah, again, but like I didn't really care because I was like, there's so much potential built off of this.
You were like, this could be a great platform. Yeah. Like I'm willing to look past it that it was a carbon copy, like redone. Yeah. But I'm going, you've introduced Snoke. Yeah. Cool. New characters, cool. Whatever. And then they followed up with it.
Yeah, and then like they do like the Last Jedi.
What happened to his face and why it's half collapsed?
Yeah. We don't even know who he is.
But like, with like
much like apart what he was trained by Sidious. Like one line he says in the third movie.
But like the Last Jedi, like they it was just kind of the way they forced a lot of stuff that just didn't seem necessary, you know, and like they backtrack on all this stuff, but like. Also, like obviously, like, I think I was a bit more disappointed just because of like there was so much expectations going into this film. Yeah. And I get that they didn't want to meet all the fans' expectations because like they didn't want to fan service everyone. Yeah. But I feel like they did that so hard that no one liked it. They were like, "Well, this is fucking stupid." Then like nothing that was like a key point is a key point anymore. That means Force Awakens in itself just kind of was pointless. Like it was just a shit movie because. So, there was no point because every point.
Knights and Ren as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's such a cool story.
You get slaughtered in 5 minutes by Kylo.
Yeah.
Like, I thought these guys were like badass.
Yeah, they're meant to be badass, but they get killed by Kylo.
Like Kylo's really powerful and all. Yeah. But like, I would have been cool to see them like beat up some rebel squad or something beforehand. Because then like you said they're powerful, but like that's when you like show me like I'm not just gonna trust you and then like see them all get.
They're like medieval knights.
Yeah.
But they just introduce them like, oh, they're here, and then Kylo's like, nope,
It's all because JJ is obsessed with his little mystery box thing.
Yeah.
And like,
what are we gonna pull out today?
Yeah.
Oh, Rey's actually Darth Sidious's granddaughter.
That's what I was gonna talk about.
He's obsessed with this little mystery box concept that, like, anytime someone's like, he's watching Lost and he's like, oh, there's a mystery box in there. It makes his dick hard, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's how he gets off, is just putting mystery boxes everywhere.
Yeah, back to the JJ and who was the other director?
Rian Johnson.
I don't think it's the fact that they hadn't met each other. I think it's the fact that they had met each other, but they hate each other.
They didn't.
So they both try to ruin each other by throwing out their script.
It's like,
I feel like so many moral concepts as well were like ruined. Like the two main ones for me, first of all, was like with Finn. Like it's about the traumatic. It's like him, the viewers experiencing going, oh, he's a stormtrooper. He knows what it feels like to be like forced in to become like a first order trooper. Like, oh, he'll probably be like not really want to kill all these stormtroopers. Next minute, man's just slaughtering squads.
Yeah.
Going like, wait, but hold on a minute. He's like supposed to like feel for them. And
Yeah.
and then he's just like, stop you guys. And I'm like, he's like, wait, doesn't he realize that they're just like him? And like, and then also the main one is about like the whole time being Rey. Or you don't have to just be like some bloodline to be powerful.
Yeah.
And then the last one is like, oh, it's like if you just want it so bad, like you can be something great and powerful and help the universe. And then go, no, actually, you need to be the son of either Anakin or Palpatine.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just like by making him the son of Palpatine, this like ruins the whole point. Going like,
exactly.
You can be powerful, doesn't matter who you're born from. Yeah, she's going, no, you're just powerful because you're the son of a powerful dude. I'm the daughter of a powerful dude. It's just it's like, come on.
With like one of the issues I had, especially like even if we like forget the whole every plot point in Force Awakens was just completely written for the Last Jedi. Also, character development was kind of just like splintered because of the Last Jedi. Like Finn's character development ends in Force Awakens. Like he literally there's no development since.
Doesn't he like grow a moustache in the last one or something?
Well, he has. Sorry.
Or is that him now? I can't remember.
That's the character development.
He gets a stash.
Didn't even get a moustache.
He gets like he gets little dreads.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Doesn't he hang out with Rose for a bit as well?
Yeah.
Dude, I absolutely loved when I was watching Rise of Skywalker. And
she was like, I need to do some homework.
Yeah, and then Rose was on screen and Finn was like, you coming, Rose? And then she was just like, no. She was like, no, Leia's making me stay here. And then he was just like, that's too bad. And then turns out and walks out. And then it was like a 20-second scene.
Yeah.
But it was like it was clearly to me, JJ just flipping off Rian Johnson being like, fuck you.
Actually, one thing I want to talk about, what the sequels actually do.
I need to make a quick disclaimer though. We don't hate the actor of Rose. We just dislike
Rose.
The character.
With Finn's character development though, like, because it like his whole like main enemy in all of the
was Captain Phasma.
From Force Awakens was meant to be Captain Phasma, and also
and they pulled a boba on her.
Yeah. He has no idea how to fight.
Get shot,
Like he was literally a janitor on Starkiller base. Yeah. He was in sanitation. He has no idea how to fight. Like when he fights Trader, the guy's like Trader, and he's got the
he gets
massive
his ass
thing. And he just whacks him once, and he just sends him flying.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know how to fight. When he fights Kylo, he gets his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And it's like he just sucks. And then the Last Jedi comes, and he's an absolute G. Like he's killing all sorts of people. He sees Captain Phasma, and he just kicks her ass and then throws her down like this fucking...
It's because he's not wearing the Stormtrooper helmet, man. It's the curse of the Stormtrooper helmet. Like, slits like that big.
His character arc in that film was to just get good.
Exactly, yeah. He went on a pointless mission.
Yeah, he went gambling a little bit and then he got good.
Yeah, literally.
He rode on the back of an alien horse. Did a bit of gambling.
He's a pay to win.
Got some cash.
Also, how like I remember seeing in the movie when Rey like goes in that like life pod thing and shoots herself into the massive ship, and she does it because she's like wants to like help Kylo or something. Yeah. I remember seeing that scene like that was so fucking stupid. Like, why would you do that? What did you think were you gonna accomplish?
She just handed herself over and was like, "Hi," and then they were just like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
They were like, "What the fuck? You sick?
Dude,
come on,
it was because Rey and Kylo were force timing.
Yeah,
and then
force timing.
They weren't FaceTiming; they were force timing. And then Kylo was like, "Yo, you gotta see me, baby, sometime." And she was just like, "Oh, okay."
My parents are out.
Yeah,
she was like,
and then she got there,
and
then he was like,
"Snoke's leaving in 5."
Yeah, and then she got there, and he was like, "Actually, Snoke's still here. He hasn't left yet. It's kind of awkward." And then he's like, "Oh shit."
You should still stay anyway, though.
We need to get it on as well. It's like the fact that the hyperdrive smashing ship thing.
Oh yeah.
That breaks so much lore. Like not breaking lore. It just breaks the universe, like, and how it functions. So let's be real. Oh, you've got the Death Star.
You can't actually hit anything in hyperspeed anyway, can you?
It does raise a lot of
it's like imagine the Rebels. They got the Death Star. All right, we're gonna build, guys, a 2-kilometer straight foot pole. We're gonna put an engine on the back. We're gonna have get an Ewok
to pilot it.
He's gonna hyperdrive that bitch straight through the Death Star. Yeah. Problem solved. Oh, they've got a fleet. Get a couple kilometer poles. Bro, you've got a planet? Oh, we're just poled.
Bro, didn't you know that's how they killed Nine Numb? They tried that already.
Yeah.
Off screen, he was just flying to the Death Star.
It's like, it literally solves any problem of any somewhat heavily fortified planet, station, fleet.
Big thing smash into it fast.
Yeah. That's the same with, like, Force Heal.
Oh, yeah. That's
like, all
so
these
dumb.
issues, they were just like, and Rey doesn't, like learn. She doesn't go on her massive journey. Luke doesn't be like, there's a sick new technique I just learned. Check this shit. That would have been better than her just being like, oh my god, look at this fucking animal I found in a sandpit.
Because
he could be going as well. Like, at the time, you don't really understand why he's teaching to as well. It's just he just gets taught it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, now she could use it in the movie. Like, bit of continuity. She actually trained that with Luke. Except no, you got her swinging at a rock. I'm like.
Yeah, because Luke comes back and then they just kind of talk for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, do you feel better now? They just had a therapy session.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she was just like, yeah. Like
they
didn't train.
Power is like 1,000,000 times stronger, thank you.
Actually, another thing that's weird about that with bringing people back is, you know, when when Yoda comes back and he's burning down the tree and he's like, the sacred text. I was like, do you really need to bring Yoda back for that?
I didn't get that either. Like, why would you... I don't really remember the message he was like...
It's because they're like meant to let go of like the old ways because it's like it's outdated or something like that.
Wouldn't you still like... I'm pretty sure it would have some important value.
Yeah.
Well, no, it makes sense, but like it's just because they didn't keep like the ideas the same the entire way through. You're just like confused. But it's like
Yoda was so haunted as well by...
Well, like, it kind of makes sense because you think about it, like in the prequels, like those Jedi low-key sucked. Like when you think about it, you're like, well, their entire order died because they were arrogant and
they just wanted to fight war. Yeah. Like, oh, we're just gonna win.
Exactly.
It's like a lol droid army.
Yeah, they like forgo their values. So they all died.
It's like we're so powerful, we're just gonna win this war.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh.
But like, you kind of really don't get that because like Luke's like, I'm gonna save the sacred texts. And he's like a drunk trying to get a bowl of whiskey, and then you're just like, lightning, and then he fucking explode, and he's like, why? And then he's just like.
I actually loved when Yoda came back in that scene. I was so happy, and then he was a puppet.
They did him dirty,
yeah. But like, the only problem with that is that it raises up a bit of continuity issue as well, because like Force Ghosts can now summon lightning. Like, why don't they just beat up the Sith themselves?
They can't die.
What if like Sidious was just chilling, and then fucking Obi-Wan came in and was like, die, and just fucking exploded or something.
Dude, genuinely
behind the chair, just like ignites his lightsaber.
Like... Genuinely, when Rey was fighting Palpatine in the very end, I dead set thought all of the past Jedi were going to come back as ghosts and like fight alongside. That's like that would have been so cool.
I know, but the story arc sort of. Have you guys seen the 4th Harry Potter?
Yeah.
At the end of that, where all the ghosts carry this people, the more
with Cedric Diggory there as well.
He's just like
he's actually in the Star Wars one as well with no context.
He's just there with his wand.
Die, Palpatine.
Like it makes sense if you can see them and stuff. They can talk to you. Because like they're powerless.
Yeah.
Like, well, they do have power because they can like.
They have wisdom
and stuff.
Yeah.
But like if they can actually do stuff, and then also how broken's just Kylo being able to like teleport and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's in his ship and then Rey's on that planet when they're getting like.
And then she just goes. And then Force teleport.
And then Kylo just like rocks up and he's like, hey, what? Like Rey goes to sleep and he's just like, hey, dead.
Yeah.
You're Pope dead. It's just like
it's.
Come on. It doesn't make like
it was a cool shot. I'll give him that. Like going from his thing and then like transformed onto the planet. I was like, oh cool. Then I was like, wait, hold on a minute.
It's a cool cut, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because it's just like, why is Kylo and Rey so powerful? Like really, why are they this powerful? They got the Force connection, but
it's
like,
very
why?
elitist.
Why do they have this Force connection?
In the way it's because you're just powerful.
Why are they this like?
That's what I hate about. It's like it's a. It wouldn't have just so much better if Rey was actually no one going like you can challenge a Skywalker because Kylo's ultimately
he's a Skywalker.
He's a Skywalker. So you go, oh okay, he's powerful because he's a Skywalker, right? Makes sense. But then you go, oh, Rey, yeah, she can do it, and then she's like, oh no, she's a Palpatine. Oh, okay,
through training and hard work.
Yeah, it's like no, she literally just got it, and that means Rey never trained. She has like a 5-minute.
What I've heard of how she gets her skills is because they've got like the Force connection. She gets like Kylo's training through like their mind connection. It's like that's such a cop
once
out.
Again,
that's so weird.
That's once again going back to Harry Potter, how Harry and Voldemort are connected, and he gets his abilities.
A lot of people really don't like. They say like Rey's a Mary Sue, and you know she's
a Mary Sue.
She's
it's like a character really that's like given. It's like perfect. They're just like super powerful,
like without
morally correct and stuff.
Yeah, without having to try or whatever. Yeah. They just are that way. But like.
So any
Star Wars is filled with those types of characters. Like Luke is pretty much his own little Mary Sue. Anakin, but Anakin more so.
No, but Anakin's got more trial and error and stuff though.
And he also becomes a bad guy as well.
Yeah, I suppose.
He has content at least showing that he's like been fighting and training and stuff.
I like
still
like Luke. I do agree. Luke is still pretty bad. But like he has a little bit more because he's like, oh, I'm on the planet with Yoda, and like Yoda is still like the most powerful Jedi ever.
Yeah,
and he just trained from like several weeks. Like even though several weeks, it's not going to be enough pro to beat Vader. So he's still a bit of Mary Sue. It's like you at least get the taste going. Oh, he's literally learning from one of the most powerful Jedi ever for a long period of time.
I don't think Luke's as much of a Mary Sue because he gets his ass kicked in the 5th one. He gets his hand.
That is true. Like, he literally loses.
And even in the final battle, the way he wins is through an emotional sort of connection as well.
That's
less of his actual skills.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Anyway, what I'm saying is that like that criticism, I think, is just incorrect because there are so many other examples like Luke and Anakin where you can just say, well, it's basically the same thing. So why don't you put them to the same standard, hold them to the same standard?
Yeah.
So I think that's just stupid when they're like, "Oh, the main character's too powerful." Like, shut up.
Yeah.
But like,
I think it's just
because ultimately it is like Star Wars.
But she is.
Yeah, it's Star Wars.
I think it's just too blatant with Rey. Like
they need to make an effort.
Like think about like honestly, what really is anything dope that Luke did that was like that powerful? You're like, oh my god, he's super powerful.
Like in the movie,
he got his ass kicked by everyone he fought. He never actually didn't beat anyone.
Is that something?
When you think about it. When he fought Darth Vader, he got his hand cut off.
Yeah.
When he fought Darth Vader again, he just got tortured by Palpatine with lightning, and then Darth Vader
WWE'd him.
He actually didn't do any real.
He only beat up a Wampa in a cave.
Exactly.
And chucked Boba Fett in a hole.
Yeah. And whereas like Anakin obviously was
Looney Tunes style.
Was a raised Jedi.
Born in a war. So
and he was fighting in a war and he earned stuff and he had fucked up shit happen to him. So I think my issue with Rey mostly is just Rey kind of was just like
Rey's just a
I'm
scavenger.
actually super badass and I can do like mind tricks and teleport people across the galaxy. Which like if she can do that, surely someone dies from that happening. Like Luke, the most powerful being in all of Star Wars history, projected himself as like a ghost hologram thing across the galaxy. He died because of that.
Yeah.
Rey was fine. I mean, Kylo did die afterwards, which that scene is so dumb to me.
I shouldn't have kissed.
I bring you back to life and I kiss you, and then you die. That was like what?
It was like it felt really like it felt forced and kind of like it gave me incest vibes.
Yeah, same. I was like, what the fuck?
Also, like, did she just forget like he's literally a mass murderer?
Yeah.
It's like I get it. Like maybe he showed a little bit of good.
Yeah.
Like he's still a bit messed up. Like come on.
But like
it's like slaughters.
It's like he decides to date Hannibal Lecter or something like that. It's like he's fine.
It wasn't so much that kind of put me off. Like, oh, how could you forgive such an evil man? But like. It was more so the fact that I always saw their relationship more as like
sibling.
like a brother and sister, like a Luke and Leia type thing.
Yeah. Well, they kissed too, mate.
I know, but like
they didn't know.
Afterwards,
he
didn't
know.
I think the biggest issue with the changing directors is what the relationships actually were. Like the best relationship in the entire sequels was Poe and Finn.
But they don't explore it like at all because they were so worried that people would be like they're gay.
It just turns into mindless banter by the end of it. It's like pathetic, pointless banter, and I'm like, a bit of comedic relief, but like
they got jetpacks now. They got jetpacks now.
That's the perfect example of just weird.
So, they are two cool characters. Like Poe is cool. Like his scene where he destroys all the fighters at like the cantina. You're like, oh, cool, this guy's badass.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, it's just.
But like theirs is literally the best one because theirs makes sense because it's like they're friends.
They're
but
mates,
it's like,
are
Rey and Finn love interests? No, they're not. But are they? Because he's like, Rey, I gotta tell you something.
Yes, I was about to say. And then he's just like, and then he never tells me.
That was him gonna say, I'm force sensitive, but also. Who the fuck goes, Rey, I gotta tell you something, and then they fall through, and he's like, never mind.
And also, and like, why wouldn't he tell Poe as well? And also, anyone in the audience who just saw him go, Rey, I gotta tell you something while he's about to die, is not gonna think that he's gonna say, I'm force sensitive. When I saw that, I was like, oh, he loves her.
Yeah,
and then I was like, okay, by the end of the movie, he's gonna, confess his love for her, and then he's
gonna get the girl. And
something like that's gonna happen.
Bro, like, imagine that ending. Actually, it's not Rey like with the yellow lightsaber or something. It's her and Poe or Finn, sorry.
Yeah.
And he like moves or something, and Rey's like, oh, what?
And
then it's like, you can be my friend or whatever. And he's like, you get a hint of going like, oh, cool, like they're gonna train together or something.
It's like in Spider-Man PS4.
Except
at
like
the end,
Finn's just gonna be.
What happens there?
With in the end of Spider-Man PS4, the game. It's where Miles Morales is like, Peter, I gotta tell you something, and he goes on the roof, and then Peter goes, oh, it's so sick.
Yeah, that is.
Like, imagine at the end, you like. Everyone would go, oh my god, Finn's force sensitive, because like to really notice it, you have to like seriously pick a few things. Like he senses a few things first.
But it's so obvious he is. Like it's super obvious. I mean, it's not. He goes, I've just got a feeling that the one ship we need to get into is that one out of the 50 others in the sky. And he was exactly. I was like, that is the dumbest.
But that's the point. I don't reckon it is obvious though, because there's so many. How much other crap there is though.
No, it's pretty obvious. Like, and he even said
everyone thought it was.
He said to the stormtrooper girl, like, "Oh, I just knew that all this was happening, and you got the music cues and stuff. It was very clearly like the same thing that Leia had in Empire, where they're doing the same. He's clearly force sensitive, but like." It wasn't established at all that that's what he was going to tell her.
Yeah.
And so it was quite obvious from at least my perspective that he was force sensitive, but it wasn't obvious that that's what he was going to tell Rey. And the fact that he never tells her anyway is even more confusing because
he's just going to stay like a grunt.
Yeah, because
like he's not a grunt but like a leader.
Yeah,
like a blaster.
Because when I came out of that film, the first thing I said to whoever I saw it was. Oh, Finn never confessed his love to Rey.
That's what I thought.
That's what I said, and they were like, "Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it?" And then I was like,
"That's just JJ hating the fan base."
And then I was like, "Okay, that was strange, but whatever." And then like a couple weeks later, read an article saying, "Here's the thing that Finn wanted to tell Rey. It's force sensitive." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I was like, that is the dumbest fucking thing ever. Why would he just not tell her? Rey, this is actually super crazy. I just found out I'm force sensitive. And they'd be like, dope. Let's go fight Kylo together or something.
You want to come with?
Yeah.
No, imagine...
like, Rey, I just want to tell you. Check this out. And you like throw something like, what? Why? And why not? Yeah, why not tell anyone? Why is he like secretive about it?
Do you reckon like another...
What benefit does that have?
The lightsaber probably be helpful.
Yeah, he's like, oh, Poe and Chewie, I can't tell you because, like... it's not like we're not best friends or anything, but like
I'm just not feeling it right now.
It's not like we have established relationships where we're really close, even more so than Rey.
He's such a dick about it as well when he's like, I just got a feeling, and he like looks off in the distance, like music playing and stuff. Yeah. After every time someone's like, how the fuck do you know that? And he's just like,
also basically,
I just know.
When he was saying that stuff,
when
he was saying that stuff, that was to the stormtrooper lady who he just met, who he basically just told, oh yeah, I'm force sensitive.
Yeah,
and he couldn't tell Poe.
Yeah,
his good friend for years.
He tells someone he's just met.
Like, are you serious?
Actually, something I want to get into about that whole force sensitive thing. You know, at the end of Rise of Skywalker, where like when they went to the gambling world, there's all those kids.
Oh, Last Jedi, man.
Yeah, sorry, in Last Jedi, but then in
the broom boy.
Yeah, and then the broom boy is like, is this kid force sensitive or is he just a guy?
Well, like again, that's the anyone
it's
can
like
be.
Anyone can be influential. It's like this is some random kid, and then it's just like no,
yeah,
you have to be a Skywalker.
The whole message and the whole thing about Last Jedi is that Rey's a nobody. Anyone can be force sensitive.
What is the message of the movie?
Yeah, anyone can be a Jedi.
You can think about it, but then then it just gets slashed to pieces.
And then Last Jedi is just like, just kidding.
Yeah.
It's Rise of Skywalker. Just kidding. You gotta be, Palpatine or a Skywalker. That's
to
how
be
it
honest,
is.
It would be cool if they took that in like a next movie where like they find powerful Jedi and they sap them for their blood and they use it for like boosting up other people as like
they inject midichlorians.
Yeah, Star Wars steroids, like Jedi steroids, are like, oh yeah, and then some kid like guy just forces open a bridge or something like that.
The thing that is kind of interesting is you can in like the story is that you can direct midichlorians because that's how Anakin was created.
Oh yeah, Palpatine.
Because it was Palpatine and Darth Plagueis made Anakin because they were trying to make their own like dark side chosen one.
They force banged Anakin's mom across the universe.
And so they directed the midichlorians together.
That sort of reminds me of the story of Jesus.
The Force is like. The Force, like,
I mean, that's the whole point of Anakin. They're like,
yeah,
he's a born from a virgin mom.
Yeah,
but it was actually she got Force smashed by Palpatine.
No, so they were doing it, and then the Force was like, no, and they flicked him into because I don't know where they were making him, but it wasn't where he was, and they impregnated his mom, who then gives birth to the light side chosen one. That didn't even matter because Palpatine still made him dark side.
Yeah.
But it was meant to be like the Force being like, you can't make an evil chosen one.
I don't like that Palpatine got back because I thought he was a really cool character. Like he's a cool character.
Yeah.
Like,
he shouldn't have come back.
Yeah, like manipulative, like secretive, like super powerful.
It was cool. He was such a good bad guy.
Collective and like calculating, and then it's just like.
He's back.
And then it's also Vader's sacrifice.
Yeah.
Means nothing. Yeah.
That's the whole thing. It's like Anakin maybe is the chosen one, like because he did bring balance eventually.
Does that mean there's a
because like he killed? Well, then it's natural. It's not really balance. Whatever. Like you get me. He's like he does like he has his big act. He's like, cool, I'm gonna save you, whatever. And then but then it's like, actually didn't kill him. Like literally, you sacrifice yourself for nothing. And then and then he's just Force goes to Anakin's just like, oh.
Something I want to talk about.
Look at those memes
with the sorry.
It's like the memes of like with like Yoda and Obi-Wan and Anakin. It's all their Force ghosts, and it's like, should we tell them the Emperor's still alive? And he was like, nah. Like when they're all sitting there at the bonfire and Luke's like celebrating, they're like,
it's not ruin the moment.
Yeah. It's like, hey guys, did you just get on the shuttle? He's on some moon. Just go kill him right now.
But it's like it doesn't make sense. Like they're in space. That place blew up. There's no body to be recovered. He's dead.
He just hit an asteroid. And
well,
then
that's
like
the thing is, he's not actually him. He's like a clone, right?
It's like it's like it's a clone or some dark like
like he's reanimated or something. At least that's what they allude to.
How do you get the DNA?
That was my least favorite thing about Rise of Skywalker, and I think the title crawl of Rise of Skywalker, the title crawl of it,
a message has been sent.
It was the most
cheap, man.
The worst way to begin a Star Wars movie ever. Imagine.
When I was watching that, I was like, what?
Yeah, but like, say, okay, if the studio is interfering with you, you're J.J. Abrams, you have to make this movie, and they're saying, you have to make Palpatine in this film. Like, you can't...
What's the best way to put it back?
We want to make money. People know who Ian McDormand is. People know Palpatine. We're bringing him back, so write him into the script. I would be like... instead of putting
the quickest way to get it in and actually like give him some time to grow as a character, it's just like we'd have to literally just chuck him in the screenplay though. But
like, instead of
I agree it's bad.
Yeah, like, it's bad. But
if you didn't have much options,
I know. But like if I was JJ, with the power of hindsight, obviously, I wouldn't include that in the title crawl. Instead, I would just say like
start with
I would say in the title crawl where the characters that we know are at.
Yeah.
And then would begin the movie with the message of Palpatine going out to the galaxy.
Yeah.
So you actually see him come back. You see everyone's reactions be like, holy shit. This person who we thought was dead for like 20 odd years.
Lord, like, dictator.
He's back.
Yeah.
But like
imagine like how chilling that would be as a viewer to be like, oh my god. And if they didn't include it in the trailers and the promotion, imagine going into that being, you'd be like, holy shit, this movie is about Palpatine, and it would be so much cooler.
I'd like it a lot more.
Yeah, for sure, me too. But they had to, they had to go out and flex on everyone, being like, he's back.
I'm so certain they definitely like J.J. Abrams for the Rise of Skywalker was definitely like, let's take half of the script of what I was going to do for 8 and just combined it with what I had for 9, because like bro, like
it's like 3 movies in one.
Literally, because it's just like, oh, by the way, he's back, and now we're into it, and it's just like, what? And then like,
but how do they even get there too? That was gonna like at the end of the second one. It's like there's literally 10 of them in a ship.
Yeah,
and that was it. That was like all the rebels of like the things. Like I know they like sent out requests,
Yeah, but like, no one came.
And then it's like everyone was like, no
one came.
And then it's like start a third. It's like they've got a huge base. And everything. And you just like, where have these hundreds of people come from? Like you're literally in the Millennium Falcon with 10 of you.
I don't get though, because like they sent out their requests for help, right? And no one came. And that was like the big thing. Like no one came for us. It's just us against the world. That was against them and like a handful of ships. And then the final battle of Rise of Skywalker is the biggest fleet the galaxy had ever seen on this planet, and they only had a small fleet. And they call out, and everyone came. And it's like, why did they come this time? You're telling me
because they saw Lando and they were like, oh, I can't say no to
him.
It's
plot convenience.
And it's not even rebels though. It's just like random people.
Yeah, everyone just
like they talked about like in this thing that I've seen. It's like the fleet actually that came is like potentially like one of the largest as well ever.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's just like collections of ships. Like that's just like if I had like a ship with a blaster, I was just like, oh, you want me to help you guys? Okay, cool. I'm free.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna join.
The call that he sent out is probably mostly gonna be like, hey, you know how we called you guys? We wanted you guys to come once and you didn't. Hey, we're gonna do that again, but this time come for plot convenience. All right.
You owe me. You didn't come last time.
And it's also like, imagine like the one dude that people come like, you don't know that like thousands of other ships are gonna rock up.
Yeah.
It's like you rock up, there's like 10 other people here, and you're like, and then you see hundreds of Star Destroyers. Like, I'm a bounce.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna leave right now.
Yeah, what the hell is this whole thing about banding together to save the galaxy bullshit that they just introduced?
And it's just like, and it's not on like some, and also getting there is plot wise is like impossible, because that's like a hidden planet like, in uncharted areas. That's like finding another country like that we've never seen before. Like you can't just get there. You have to find your way there. So there's like 100 ships in space. I'm like, turn right here or left. Like where are we going?
You don't see the resistance as well. Actually, will be that much of like a fighting force as well for like the people too. So like with the rebellion, you sort of almost see them like fighting for like planets and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's like I don't even really understand why people would like come support them. It's like you never actually see the taste of them like on the ground. Like we're fighting for you. It's almost just like a battle between them. It's actually like not for the people. So like why would these people actually care?
No one. Yeah, that's right.
It's like why would they actually want to come?
Yeah, because the First Order is not like an oppressive government. The First Order is just like this faction that's out in the middle of nowhere that no one cares about, and it's like majority of the galaxy is unaffected by.
Yeah.
And they're just like, bro, you guys need to come. There's like a lot of ships and stuff. Like, do you think people would actually be like, oh, bet?
Okay.
It's like that's like when like people ask to like give money to starving kids in Africa. People are just like, I don't care. It's $5.
God.
We do not
like really?
We don't know what a support claims is.
We don't support poverty.
We don't support it. Fuck poverty.
If you're poor, just don't be.
Yeah. Just don't be, dude.
You got nowhere to sleep? Change that, man.
There's something I wanted to bring up. There's something I've been wanting to bring up for a while, talking about something they actually do well, but I know that JJ did it accidentally.
What was it?
He's talking about the scale of power Palpatine has. Because a lot of people, because with the whole biggest lightning storm thing that he throws up, everyone in the comics and stuff, like, he is the most powerful lightning user.
I like that because I was going, finally they've actually shown, because that's when people go, you watch the movies and you go, oh cool, every Stormmost person has like lightning. Yeah. And then you go, you didn't realize that Palpatine is literally the most OP lightning person ever. So when I was watching the film, because when I was watching, I was going, all right, I'm actually going to know, I'm going to say to myself, oh, this bit's actually cool, whatever. So when I saw him go ham with his lightning, most people were like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, that doesn't.
I was actually going, thank you. I was like, that is actual representation. People can actually go, oh, this is actually true. That he is the most crazy good lightning person. I'm going, that's actually making sense in my brain.
Well, yeah, it's good for people that are veterans and know stuff like that. Yeah. But it's just JJ pulling out of his mystery box. He's like, do you guys want to see something cool?
He was like, this would be cool. Lightning CGI.
Yeah.
His goddamn mystery box. He needs to stop with that. That ruined these movies. If he wasn't so obsessed, then
boxes.
Like all of those false setups in Force Awakens could have been avoided if he wasn't so fucking obsessed with his damn mystery box. And it whatever. Anyway, before we finish, because we're running out of time again, should we talk about if Jar Jar is better than Rose? Sorry.
Oh yes. Okay, who's starting?
What's the dilemma?
I'll go.
I'll say my name.
It's a tough one, to be honest, because Rose has actually, I don't know. Actually, they probably have pretty similar screen time. I think about it, because Rose does get like half a movie.
Yeah.
So like, and Jar Jar does get a fair bit of
shunned out of the.
Yeah, and then they just kick him out. They kind of did the same with Jar Jar, actually.
He's in half a movie, and then
he gets like one scene in episode 2, and that's it.
Yeah. He doesn't even show up in the third one.
Yeah, he does. He gives emergency power to Palpatine, and then Order 66 goes.
Right.
So he's the reason. He's the reason why Order 66 happens. He's a piece of shit.
Allied with Palpatine.
And that's why people are like, Jar Jar is a secret Sith Lord because he convinced an entire
if they'd brought Jar Jar back instead of Emperor Palpatine, I'd be so much happier. That'd make so much more sense.
Dude, when people were theorizing when Force Awakens came out, being like Snoke is Jar Jar, I was like, are you kidding me? This is the stupidest thing. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, it's a hard choice to be honest because they both suck like a lot. Like I don't know. I personally actually hate Rose more than I hate Jar Jar. Jar Jar sucked, but Jar Jar was just so dumb. Like everyone knew he was dumb. Even he knew he was dumb. You know.
Yeah.
He was a very self-aware comic relief, whereas Rose is like not even comic relief. She just fucking sucks. She's just cringe. And she's actually meant to be a serious character that we care about, but she's there
so Finn can have dialogue in the second movie.
That's my argument. I actually like Jar Jar more than Rose because even though Jar Jar's probably more annoying, even though Rose has probably a worse moment, I go with Jar Jar. You know what you're getting, and they stuck to it. Like he is a comedic relief. That's it. And you go, okay, cool. All right. Every time Jar Jar here, he's gonna do something stupid, whatever. All right, I've got used to that. Rose, they like flip-flop. They're like, okay, you're going to be comedic relief. You're also going to have a serious moment where it's really important for the plot line.
And then you're going to
do something dumb. Then you're going to be in love with this dude. And then you're going to be completely irrelevant for the rest of the films. And then the fan base is just like, what is this character, man? Yeah. While the Jar Jar, you go, he's sort of stupid. But you go, okay, that's it. He's stupid. Right? But like I can just get used to that. With Rose, I'm like, what are you? I'm just like, what is your point in the film? Like, are you actually meant to be important?
Jar Jar actually
give me important things.
Jar Jar did have a sort of point in terms of, I mean, comic relief, but he also did introduce something new into the Star Wars world with bringing him being like a sort of medium between the factions and races. I can't remember what the name they are on the planet. Rose, what is
Gungans.
How do they even meet her again? Is she just part of the rebellion?
Just guards, escape pods.
Yeah, what is
Sunstick?
What's the reason she goes with Finn again?
Because her sister like kills herself when she blows up the ship or whatever.
She's all sad and angsty.
Yeah. And then like I think Finn.
Oh, my sister died. Get over it.
A bunch of Jar Jar's people died. You don't see him crying over that.
Dude, I honestly, I was always Team Rose, but like I don't think I can choose because like Rose sucks because she's a character that doesn't need to be there. Like you could replace her role with Poe and it would have been better. Honestly, like if Poe went with Finn and they had their mission.
Had Poe do like the sacrifice or something.
Oh my god,
it actually makes sense because you feel like they're friends too. Like
they have so much more chemistry than Rose.
Like the main reason that Rose is there is just because Disney was like, oh, we don't want people to think that Finn and Poe are gay because everyone was making all this these fanfics about them being gay, and they're like,
that wouldn't be even so bad in the first place. I mean.
Like honestly, once again, who cares? And also, like, if that actually happened in the movie, that would be like kind of cool, probably.
Yeah.
But like instead, and honestly, like it only happened because. The reason the fans react that way is because they just have good chemistry together. So why stop them being on screen together?
And they're also just good-looking guys. So they're just gonna put them together.
It's like if you really didn't, if you just wanted them to be that straight, just make that clear. Then it's like don't like put another character into like almost ruin their chemistry.
I think they were trying to allude that with Finn being interested in Rey.
Yeah, it's like just make it clear they're mates. Then it's just like
Instead, they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna make Poe not hang out with Finn anymore, and he's just gonna
Yeah.
stick around on
They
a
could
ship
have made
and do
like
nothing."
a cool character dynamic just by making them both interested in Rey. You got the love
Yeah,
triangle
the love
effect.
triangle.
Oh yeah, they're best friends, but
They're best friends, but they both want the same
Yeah.
stuff. It would have been just like a cool side plot going on that they could have just kept working with.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
And they could also probably have gotten into like a sort of fist fight or something like over
Exactly.
it as well.
Rey gets with Kylo, and they're like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, both they're two like in the background, like, bro, he's a mass murderer.
No, Rey good. Rey goes into that whole thing of like, one of you can date me if you kill the other two. It's gonna do a 3-way sort of match.
They look at each other and they're like, "Ugh!"
Kylo v Finn v Poe.
No, it's Finn and Poe versus Kylo, and then whoever wins that.
No, but like yeah, Jar Jar sucks just because it's Jar Jar. Yeah. You know, you don't have much to say about that. But I think the reason why
one-dimensional.
Yeah, the reason why I like Jar Jar less is because he shot people on the Windows background in Phantom Menace. That war was literally took place on the Windows background.
Yeah.
And that is my least favorite scene in all of Star Wars because there is nothing. There's just tanks on an open grass field with blue sky. It is the Windows background.
It's so dumb.
All I gotta do is get that picture, Photoshop a little tank on there, Jar Jar Binks, boom, Phantom Menace. It's the same thing.
You just get like a panzer and then like a small lizard and it'd be the same scene.
Yeah, there you go. Well, is there anything else we can talk about?
I think we're all angered out. And...
I think we've run out of time. I will say before we end that my favorite part of Rise of Skywalker, and one of the few things that I actually like about it, is C-3PO. Because
he's a constant throughout the entire series.
Because I think no one really knew how to write C-3PO properly in a lot of movies. And in Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker, in Force Awakens and Last Jedi, he's like not really in it at all, which is like fine. But in Rise of Skywalker, they made him like a big role. And I think the only thing that I don't like is that he didn't actually die. Like, I think if they actually killed him off, it would have been good, because that scene was really emotional and impactful. And when he said that line of like, I just want to take one last look at my friends, I thought that I was like, oh.
Fuck Rose's sister dying.
And then R2's just like, oh, here's your memory again. And I was like, oh, okay. But it's like no consequence. What?
What's the point of having this whole emotional scene then if he's gonna come back?
Child-friendly rubbish.
But why I like
Kill off all the main characters. Do it.
But why I like him in that movie so much is because everyone just shits on him.
Shits on him. And he just helps them, man.
Yeah, and like that's what it was like in the original trilogy. Everyone was just hating on C-3PO,
and that was slow.
Yeah, and that was what made him funny, because he was annoying, and the writers knew that, so they were just like, oh, everyone's just gonna shit on him. Like the scenes when they fall down in the desert hole, and I think Poe goes, Finn, Rey, you okay? And then C-3PO is just like, I'm okay, but you didn't say my name or something, and they just all ignore him. They're just like, shut up, C-3PO, we don't care. Like that's the kind of comedy that I like.
That's the comedy that you just need. Like the cheesy. Like you don't need that plus extra stuff. Like you've got it. You've got your comedic.
Yeah.
Well, people are there for more so the action than the actual comedy.
Well, yeah, that's me. You're coming to watch Star Wars.
Yeah, so when you've got just little good comedy like that, I think it works really well. Yeah. But there you go.
I wish there was a scene where, I don't know, like, I don't really care what movie it'd been in, just like if there was a scene where C-3PO and R2-D2 got both their memories back from before the
Clone Wars?
Like in the Clone Wars and stuff, yeah.
I don't know how traumatized they would have been, though.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh my god.
I was the droid for this mass murdering child killer.
Again, that was something that I hate about the prequels. Like, they just have C-3PO and R2 there just so, you know, recognizable characters. Even though it doesn't make sense plot-wise. And then at the end
C-3PO is a stone-cold killer.
And then at the end of Revenge of the Sith, in one throwaway line, Obi-Wan's just like, oh, we're just going to wipe your memories, so that explains why you don't remember anything. And it's like, that's stupid.
Yeah, why? And they technically really wouldn't even have to wipe most of their memories, just because, like,
let's get rid of the child killer stuff.
Well, like, they're not going to recognize Darth Vader as Anakin, because no one knew he was Anakin until well, Obi-Wan knew because he sensed him, but he didn't actually know it. Like, and there's like a huge scene in like Rebels with like where Ahsoka realizes that it's Anakin, and then like
that's a good
cuts the mask.
Yeah, it's a good fight.
Like, I won't leave you again.
And then there's like, and then there's like the big reveal for Luke. Like no one knew who Darth Vader was, so it, like, you know, C-3PO and R2-D2 is like you could get like some cool dialogue between, like, if we rewrite originals, bro, you could get R2 and like C-3PO talking to Luke at the end of Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
That would have been sick.
That would be cool.
Hey, no one ever told you this, but your dad murdered a giant temple full of younglings.
Also, but then it wouldn't make sense, because then in New Hope, when they buy them, they'll be like, this is actually crazy. I was made like just around the corner from here.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah, actually, the same last name as you. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah,
it's sort of spooky.
Yeah, why didn't you say anything to C-3PO? He's just like, you never I don't know. But there you go. That's our thoughts on sequel trilogy.
Yeah. It has been a long day.
It's probably very long, I imagine. It felt long.
Well, yeah, we recorded all of these back to back to back, so
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed them.
Yeah.
We're a little tired now, I think. I thought we would talk a lot more about the original trilogy, but
no, I didn't think we would.
Yeah, well, like I said at the prequel one, I think I thought the original would be the hardest to talk about.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Sequels are the easiest to talk about because they're so shit.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about there. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you, Patty and Luca, for joining us.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Yes. All my other Star Wars forums I need to go right on.
Yeah.
How much karma do you have on Reddit, Patty?
Tons.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next time, I suppose.
Yeah.
What do you want to do next, Kaylin?
Man, I don't know. I'm kind of tired.
I just want to go to sleep. Let's stop talking about Star Wars.
By the time the next podcast comes out, you know what we decided on.
Okay. That means we're gonna do Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, basically. Oh, actually, yeah, let's do that.
Well, we've already done so many movies.
Yeah.
You gotta stop it. Anyway.
Thank you.
Peace out, guys.
Yeah.
See ya.